wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know.
Mom, you've been a good mom, and Scott, so far, you've been a good stepdad.
And if I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you. But I would walk 500.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Scott. I was just playing the piano.
I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come.
Well, that's actually funny. She's not going to see this before the wedding, right? Okay, after, because it's part of my maid of honor speech, so I can't really ruin it. But I don't know how Katie and I became friends. It's like a joke right now because we've been friends for 16 years, but I literally, neither of us can remember when our friendship started or how we got introduced, or so it's a mystery.
The day she was born. Precious, and she's still precious. And I just want to say to Katie and Scott, I wish you the best. I wish you bluebirds, blue skies, sweet memories, all your life. Make memories every day.
We met in high school. Well, actually, it was middle school. She just transferred from the Montessori school, and she came in, and she was one of the new people that actually wasn't weird. She was, pretty and funny, and it was a good first impression of Katie.
Me and Katie met back in the 7th grade, so we have a lot of crazy stories for sure. And I just, honestly, I never thought Katie would beat me to getting married. So congrats on that, Katie. I can't believe you're actually here and we're doing this weekend, tomorrow. So my main objective for the next 24 hours is to keep you from running, which I don't think will be too hard because you're not that much of a runner, but that's my main goal, I think, over the next 24 hours before your wedding, is to keep you, sane and ready for this. And I think you'll make a great wife. You've already made a great mother and a great best friend, so yeah, I'm a little emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I met Katie in like the 7th grade. We've been friends for a really long time.
A lot of you guys have met in the 7th grade.
Yeah, well, she moved to Bellwood in the 7th grade, so.
Gotcha.
And I moved in 8th grade, but yeah, we met really young, stayed friends for all this time, so.
All right, so the first time I met Katie was when I first started dating my girlfriend, Paige, and the first time that I met her, we went out for drinks, and then we ended up at Adult World, and we were shopping for adult things.
Where to start with you, Katie? We've known each other since 7th grade. We've been through everything together, going to the movies with you, with Adam and Brittany and everybody, and it was, we didn't know how to start off at first, but when we got throughout the high school years and everything, and then the senior year was what kind of started it all, when Max was around and me and Nicole and the lake house, and that's when we really grew together, and we couldn't ask for a better friend.
I don't know. Well, my mom said this is Scott, and then you went into one room, I went into the other room to watch TV. That's like the first time we met.
I know Scott from high school. They transferred, we were Westmont from beginning of school till 12th grade. And around 9th grade, they shipped a whole bunch of Omos brats over to us. So it was jarring at first. Once we weeded out the week, we started to notice that Scott and a few of these Omos guys were pretty cool. So So we invited him into our gang and made him one of our own.
I think my favorite funny memories of Kate were when we did this 3-week camp together, just because, I mean, it's camp and we're 16 years old, and those memories will always stay those memories between us. But we came up with some really great stories and some really great memories, and we've been friends since then. It's been 10 years and we've kept in touch, so I think that's pretty memorable.
Since 7th grade, so I think we both would have been 13 at the time, so it's been a long lifetime with her.
Oh boy, she was in the nursery, and I think it was the day she was born. I came in there and fed her a little thing of water. She slurped it right up.
Well, the first time I met Katie was when Scott and her and I and her dad went out to dinner, and we had a really good time, and it was just refreshing. Her attitude, her spirit, she was just great to have around at the table. We had a really good time.
So we know Scott as Scotty Lowry, because I know his parents. His father and I have been in school together from junior high, high school, college, medical school. So we've been best friends, and so our families would vacation in Hilton Head every year for about 20 years, and we would initially share a house together. And
the first time I saw Scott was when he was just born, I was and am Scott's godmother. I'm Sonia Stolberger, and I'm Sherry's sister and Scott's godmother, and have followed Scott's life as he's grown from a newborn, watched him run around the house while I was in Iowa City when he was just a small 2-year-old toddler while I was going to school, and have followed his career, his life and his career since then.
The first time I met Katie, so I had heard all about her from their trip to Ireland, and Scott was really excited about her, and they came to visit me in Rochester where I live, and we had a really fun weekend and just getting to know each other, and I just remember thinking, wow, like Katie is a firecracker, and she's a whole lot of fun and intelligent and beautiful, and made Scott really happy.
Yeah, I mean, me and Scott started being friends around 9th grade. He was an Omo's kid, so he's a Catholic kid, and he came into our public school, Westmont, and met the rest of us. The rest of us who are here, Zach and Scott, and there's others. But we were jackasses. We filmed what we did, and it was very silly, and it was pretty much the precursor to the show Jackass.
Hi, Katie. So I don't remember the first time we met. I knew it was in class, but not specifically what class, and we just kind of clicked and went from there.
First time I met Katie was, I think, 7th grade in the lunchroom cafeteria. She came over and she sat with us, and then I can't really remember a time without Katie. She's always there after that.
I think the first time I met Scott was at a party on New Year's Eve, probably before we were legally able to drink, but Scott was the chaperone. I didn't meet him, but he was this like Scott Lowry person in my mind. I just knew him as Eric's older brother. I knew that Eric looked up to him a lot and still does. So I think that's my very first memory of Scott.
No, I'm going to talk about, man, our days back fucking toting for the Desperados. You guys, Desperados? No? All right.
So you're going to be talking straight into this camera. You're talking directly to them.
So, Folk Fest 1998, as I was saying there, Scott and I were roading for the Desperados, looking for 1,000 M&Ms to fill a brandy glass so the Desperados won't go on stage. Now we're down at the Quality Inn downtown Johnstown. Scott pops his head in, all right, mentions there's a little sweet shop at the edge of town. So Scott and I go, and it's locked. Well, we break in, only to find that instead of a guard dog, the owners have a bloody Bengal tiger. Well, I took care of the tiger with a bed of pepper mace. Shopkeeper and his son were a different story. We had to beat them to death with their own shoes. Messy business that was. But we got the M&Ms. Desperados had a great show. Seth and Karen, I hope you guys have a great wedding. We're happy to be here. Congratulations. Sing off me. It was good, guys. Thanks. I think that went well. I think that was excellent.
All right, Scott. I just want to bring up that one story where I came home from my friend's house that one time and with sheets, and you stole my one chicken nugget and then punched me in the face. And then decided to laugh about it in my face, but just wanted to bring that up.
You are a fantastic mother. And you know this because everyone around you tells you this, and I tell you this, but I remember the one day that I sent you a Mother's Day card, and I felt horrible because I never sent you a Mother's Day card, and you were so touched by it. And it just let me know that you don't know how great you are and what a fantastic role model you are for Max and what a fantastic partner you are for Scott and the family that you are going to build from here on out.
I was actually in the delivery room when Max was born, Katie's son.
Tell me about that story.
So I slept on the recliner. So Katie was supposed to go into labor, did not, so she ended up getting induced. There's like a little recliner in the suite, so naturally I'm the chosen one to sleep on the recliner for like hours. We're playing Skippo, Uno. She's like just totally fine, not even like she's going into labor. Max. It's like, but then I ended up having to go to work the next morning, and I worked at a golf course. It was my first day. I'm driving the beer cart, and I get a call that Katie's in labor, so I whip it, go back over to the hospital, and I'm literally, it was like literally a movie. I'm like walking in as she's like giving birth. It was like a lot. You can't ever look at her the same after that story.
What's one of those like...
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good.
Memories. I guess the first time I met Katie going back to high school. Oh man, it was an interesting time. Had a lot of fun, some of which I don't remember, probably the majority of it. But Scott, when you came into Katie's life, I know it was definitely a plus, and it was a positive thing, and it definitely changed Katie for the better. We had some fun, but she definitely made a turn for the best, and you know, I'm just excited for you to be a part of her life and to be a part of Max's life.
How she loves dogs. She has a lot of dogs. Like she saw a three-legged dog, so she picked it up. She saw a pug, so now she wants it. So she just grabs dogs.
So Katie, you'll never forget the time when you came to New Jersey and you went to see Hamilton with the tickets, but the 4 feet of snow hit New Jersey and you stayed at the house the whole time. And I'm sorry that you didn't get to go to the show, but that's when we really got to know each other and meet Max, and Emma and Max had a blast, and we loved that weekend. We'll never forget it. It was probably better than going to the show. So that was great, and we wish you guys the best, and we love you, and we're going to have a good blast tomorrow.
Nothing that I can tell you on film. Yeah, I can't reveal any of that. We have an NDA, so I can't really discuss any of that publicly.
Well, there's a time when Penn State was in the Sweet 16, and remember I told you when you got out of school that we're going to go to Atlanta to see the game, and we stayed right at the Players Hotel, and that was quite a good time. One of the best times we ever had.
When Scott was living with his dad and I, he would bring home his laundry, and one of the things that he wanted me to teach him was how to iron. And so I went upstairs, I took all of his dress shirts, I said, okay, we're going to learn how to iron, Scott. So he would follow me up and he watched me iron, and he started to do it, and I ended up just kicking him out of there because he just couldn't get it. He couldn't get the hang of it. So
When he was up to 3 years old, he lived in in Cedar Rapids. No, I'll get it first. Iowa City, and then they moved to Pennsylvania. So we saw them quite often when they were in Iowa City and things. So as a baby, changing him, you know, playing with him.
Scotty was always the character who was organizing the other younger kids, and we knew that he was going to be very successful in life because he was so imaginative and a very engineering mind. He would have a raft in the swimming pool at the house and figured out how to make it motorized with using a hose, and would take the other little kids around the pool with that. And Scotty was always the one taking the kids down at nighttime to find froggies and bring back buckets of frogs to scare the girls. But we've known Scott, therefore, since he was a little kid, and have had a very close relationship with the Lowry family.
The one incident that I want to tell you about that almost severed our really strong relationship together was when we were golfing in Branson, Missouri, celebrating Nana's 75th birthday. And Scott had what I would consider an out-of-body tantrum and helicoptered his putter across the green, and it almost took my head off. And it was the one moment of anger that has never been seen from me since, but it left Scott almost severed in relationship, and he was upset, so upset that he broke on the 18th hole his driver, which upset me even more because it showed a total disrespect to the game that I love. As you well know, I've played golf my whole life and played professionally. So we had a little conversation that day, and I think he learned a lot and I learned a lot, and I think he's grown into a real gentleman ever since.
Where do I begin? So I'm told that so Scott was the only grandchild. He was the first grandchild. And then I came into the picture and he didn't like it very much. He kind of hated me a little bit. So my mom tells a story about how when I was little, she had just wanted to take a shower and she put me in my bassinet, and she got out of the shower, heard me crying, went to the crib, and I wasn't there. And she said, "Scott, where's your sister?" "I don't know." "Scott, where's your sister?" "I don't know." And he had taken me and shoved me in a corner between a footstool and a rocking chair.
My favorite memory is normally I would get Max off the bus and we would play for a little bit, and then you would come home from class and you would normally feed both of us.
They should embrace every day, embrace each other, and if there's any hard time, just step back, take a breath, and step back in.
Katie, I hope you spend more time on your knees than on your feet.
Just roll with it, man. It's marriage is a journey. It's not a destination. So every day you'll have to do something new, different. So just roll with it. And sometimes I will say, admit that you're wrong. That's a very important thing in marriage. Don't be too proud to admit that you're wrong.
Marriage is about a give and take. You have to have good communication. You have to listen to each other. You have to remember that you grow together. You can't grow apart. Everything you do needs to be a mutual decision and come to agreements. Never go to bed angry.
So I would say, talk everything out. You know, don't go to bed mad at each other, but really, well, communicate.
My wisdom would be to always, always, always listen to each other. Listen to really, truly understand each other's point of view, and never, never, never go to bed angry. Work it out, talk. Tomorrow will be another day, and it'll be better the next day if you don't go to bed angry with each other. Make that a commitment, and you'll have a long life of happiness together.
You know, the one big piece of advice that I would give as a married individual and a father of two would be to certainly have patience, love one another, communicate. That's the biggest thing. Communicate and have patience. Any problem that you have that may seem like a big deal, just talk about it, and a couple days later, it's nothing.
I see tomorrow as being a wonderfully fun and memorable day, and something that you're never going to forget. But you know, the wedding is one day, the marriage is forever.
I would say to always try to be positive, no matter what. Talking things out, no matter how rough it gets.
Thank you for allowing me to share this with you and Scott, and I'm gonna cry. I guess my advice to Scott is happy wife, happy life. How many times did someone say that today, I wonder? And Katie, Pappy would be very happy with your choice in a husband.
I want you to know that you are remarkable and you're going to have a remarkable future.
I'm such an ugly crier, I'm not gonna cry, but Katie, I can't believe we've been friends for so long, and I can't believe that you're getting married, and I can't believe that you're getting married first, because nobody ever thought that was gonna happen. But I am so happy for you, and I'm so thankful to be a part of your day.
And I never like to get too close to somebody right away, but I have come to embrace him and love him. He is a wonderful, wonderful person. I think they're going to make a wonderful couple. I think Scott's going to be a great father to Max, and he's just great. And I couldn't handpick anybody any better. And enjoy your life. And I want you always to come over and see Grandma, and I will be at your house too. And I love you both, and I think you're great.
Yeah, I'm a little emotional about it, but I'm really happy for you. Congratulations, and I am so excited to get to spend the rest of my life with you and Scott, sharing all of these new memories together.
I'm so happy for both of you. You guys are great together. Just so many years to come. We've already had a lot of fun times, Penn State games, Penn State tailgates, many more years of that to come.
I think that I know you have a hard head, Katie, and I have a soft one, and I will always be here to listen to you rant. Even though you don't want to hear my positive words, I'm always going to tell you them. Right?
Yeah.
And we love you, and we'll always be here, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Scott and Katie, I wish you guys both the best, and you guys are going to have an awesome future together, and don't forget, awesome dinner parties always.
We couldn't ask for a better person than Scott. He's everything that you need and everything that you wanted, and you should never have a second guess about it, because it's perfect for you and it's perfect for all your friends and everything. And Katie, we love you to death, and I can't wish you any more happiness than anything more. We love you, girl.
Regardless of all the tormenting and the beatings of my life that I've experienced from you, it built a lot of character, I believe. It's made me the man I am today. I've always looked up to you. You're my brother. I love you, big guy. Katie also, take care of him. Great guy, best guy to be by your side. I wish you guys a marriage of happiness and laughter. I love you both.
And I want you to know that you are remarkable and you're going to have a remarkable future.
So Scott and Katie, I wish you the very best. I'm so excited for you. Dawn and I are so excited to have Katie and the family and a grandson. We're very excited just for the two of you to live happily ever after. So cheers to you and best wishes. We'll be here for you for anything that you need, anywhere along the line. We love you both very much.
I know that you both love each other very much. It's going to be a great relationship. It will grow and be a great experience, life experience for both of you.
And I think the two of you have what it's going to take to make a long-lasting, loving marriage. And I'm so glad that I took the boys, Scott and Eric, to Ireland 3 years ago, where we met you and had a wonderful, wonderful trip. And now we're looking at a wonderful future.
Katie, I love you so much. You are such a good friend. You're such a good mom, and I'm so excited to stand with you tomorrow when you get married.
I just wish Katie and Scott a lifetime of happiness and love, and their separate families growing together as one. And Max being included with Scott and Katie, that he has two incredible people to look up to and to follow in their footsteps. So I wish them the best.